Happy Saturday. How is everybody today on this Saturday before Christmas? Lots of times it's a crazy time of year, especially this year it's a crazy time of year, but maybe in some different ways. So I'm super glad that you are tuning in today for another one of our listing live sessions. Okay, we're good. I turned the sound down on that already. Good morning, Joanne from Northern California. I just happened to see you pop up. So good morning. So let's see. We are together again for another one of our listing Saturdays. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lael Kankar, and I have a business called Lael by Mail. Non-COVID times, I'm usually traveling all over the country and sometimes all over the world, teaching lots of different types of classes. So scrapbook classes, mini book classes, traveler's notebook classes, planning classes, all different kinds of classes. But with COVID, way back in March of 2020, because we're almost to 2021, I started doing some classes here on YouTube virtually. And that is kind of just what we've been doing ever since. So I focus on Saturdays on our live sessions on working in a traveler's notebook. And that is definitely one of my passions. If you've just stumbled across me, because I know sometimes that happens and you're not sure what a traveler's notebook is, I encourage you to rewind all the way back to March. I did a intro to traveler's notebook, kind of a one-on-one video here on YouTube where I talk a lot about traveler's notebooks and all the fun things that you can do with them, because there's so many great things that you can do with them. Anyhow, welcome. If you are joining us live, you'll hear me every once in a while respond to people. There is a live chat that takes place over on the right-hand side of your screen. And I believe that you, if you are on a handheld device, that you can't be in full screen mode in order to see that. And I'm not sure because I'm never on that end of things. But if you'd like to participate in the chat, it's a super fun group of individuals from literally all over the world. We have people tuning in from all over the world, which is always so cool. I encourage you, if you are participating in the chat, pipe in, say hello, tell people where you're from, because I think sometimes it's good to know, because you may have a neighbor that is out there with you. If you are not participating live, welcome anyway, right? Because for all intents and purposes, when you're watching, it seems like it's live. So if we didn't tell you that it wasn't live, then you would know. It's kind of like that commercial way back in the day on the Memorex cassette tapes. It would say, is it live or is it Memorex? That's kind of, is it live or is it, I don't know, pre-recorded? Well, not pre-recorded, but you're watching after the fact. So, Fiona, welcome from the Netherlands. Nancy from Illinois. Suzanne from Wisconsin. Lots of folks from all over the world. San Antonio, Ava. I live in Utah. In northern-ish Utah. We live in a suburb of Salt Lake City. So it is a beautiful day outside. It snowed a little bit yesterday. Plan, Craft, Repeat from Southern California. Barb, welcome. Scrapping Matilda from Sweden, welcome. All right, friends, so we have a couple of things. I'm glad you could join today too, Kim. Atascadero, is that right, Julie? Atascadero. PS Planner Girl from Houston, hi. Ontario. Sandy, welcome. Okay, friends, so we have lots and lots of things to cover today, as always. So, one of the most important things, though, if you would please give the video a thumbs up. If you like what you're seeing, if you don't like, well, then maybe you just want to move on to another channel. But if you like what you're seeing and you like our Saturday sessions, please give the video a thumbs up. That is super important. I always, at least the day before, sometimes the night before, which has been happening lately, more and more, I send out an email with a link to the topics for our Saturday listing session. So if you're not getting those emails, you'll want to head over to my website, which is laelbymail.com, and click subscribe so you can, or sign up for my emails there so you get notified when we do these every Saturday and you know the topics ahead of time. All right, a couple of the housekeeping items to get out of the way before we jump in. The first one, we had another giveaway last week. Hi, Laurie. Hi, Bonnie. Bonnie, I combined there your first name and your last name. Hi, Bonnie. So we had a giveaway last week of one of the little prize packs from my friend Andy, and that includes the List It #1 stamp. That's a little hint the listed number 1 stamp, and then another one of her stamps and a cute little sloth pin and a little sticker. So the giveaway last week was for you to leave a comment on last week's video with your favorite movie, Christmas movie. And the winner of that, April Triggers. So congratulations, April. I will respond to your comment from last week so you know how to get in touch with me, and you can send me your address so I can send you this fun little prize pack. All right. So we will have another giveaway for next week. And if you get my emails and you opened it last night, then you know that I have something brand new. And it is so brand new, it's not even in a package yet. Laquita, bless you, my friend. Oh, you pronounced it for me. Thank you. Laquita from Germany. That's so funny. I always struggle with her name, so I'm going to do my best to remember how to pronounce that, Laquita. That's hilarious. Anyhow, friends, so look at, that is a brand new, oh, I don't want to get my face too close there. That is a brand new, it's going to look backwards to you because that's just what happens. A brand new List It stamp. This is List It 2. So 2 new little clips. And then this little guy. That little guy I'm so excited to use. So it kind of looks like you have something from a little spiral notebook. And then these little guys too. There's a heart and a square and a star. And a lot of times I'm using Kathy and Kathy. I've got to, I was going to give you a shout out. I will do that in a second. Anyhow, these little guys. So these little guys will be so fun, and I'll use them today. A lot of times with my listing, I like to have little like bullets or something so we can sometimes check things off. And so those will be great for that. So this little guy, I will give away next week. These are now up for pre-order on my website. These should start shipping on December 28th. So that is the List It 2 stamp, and I've included a link to that in the description of the video down below. Oh, good. Okay. Well, it's funny because when I'm looking right, oh gosh, I can't get that close. When I'm looking, it looks like it's backwards. So I'm glad it's not backwards. Okay. Next up, I have a couple shout outs. Can we order the sticker with the new stamp sets? Sarah, do you mean Andy's little sloth sticker? You know what? Let me make a quick note of that because I talked to her about the prize pack. She was going to check into that for me. So let me just make a quick little note. Sometimes she's here. So sometimes she pops in. If we see her, if Andy pops in, if we see her, let's ask her. Okay, so the sticker. I know, that's the cutest sloth sticker. Okay, there we go. I just made a little note of that. All right, so a couple shout outs. Yesterday, you guys, was a fun day because I actually got to meet a couple of you in person. And it was, one of them was a total fluke. I had gone down to the sloth pin. Okay, I will ask about that too because it's darling. Okay. There we go. I just have to write those down because where my brain is these days, I won't remember. Anyhow, so yesterday I went to, some of you may know, well, here in Utah, there are quite a few scrapbook manufacturers. And there at one point were many. One of those is American Crafts. And I have been an American Crafts consumer purchaser for years, and I also buy lots of their products to offer to you guys on my website. Well, they have a kind of a warehouse sale that's been going on here for a little while, and yesterday I thought, you know what, I'm gonna jaunt down there, it's about an hour away, and I was shopping with my big shopping cart, and some ladies that worked there were walking past me, and they said, hey, or they said, excuse me, we're just going to get by you. And I said, okay. And I had a mask on, and I was kind of looking down at something. And then this person goes, Lael? And I turn around and I look, and I'm like, I don't think I know you. But I always pretend like I do because I meet lots of different people, or a lot of you know me, but I don't really know you. So I'm like, hi. And she said, oh my gosh. And we had a really fun conversation. So that was Kathy. And Kathy has been a customer of mine for a while this year. So I was super excited to meet her. And you guys, the coolest thing, she had a couple of her traveler's notebooks with her at work. And she showed them to me. And I loved that because it was so neat. I mean, you guys all get to see what I do, but I never really get to see what you do. Unless some of you are really good about posting in the Facebook group what you're working on. Or some of you will even email me showing me what you're working on. So I love that. But it was so fun to meet in person Kathy. And then also her coworker, Kathy, KP. The Kathy with a C, Kathy with a K. Anyhow, so I had lots of fun meeting them and shopping at that big sale. And then early yesterday evening, mother-daughter pair contacted me, Brooke and Taylor. They also live here in Utah. They live north of me. And they, Brooke asked if I was doing a session today and then asked me if they could drop by my house and bring me something, which I thought, oh my gosh. So that was the first time we'd ever met in person, which was really fun. We did kind of at the front door with all of our masks on. But they brought me a little present and they said they would like me to open it during today's session. So I'm going to do that. It was so sweet of them. So sweet of them. So I did already look at the card, but I have to show you guys this. It's a beautiful handmade card, but look at this, what happens when you open it. That is like this little 3D pop thing, It's a little tree that pops out. Isn't that just gorgeous? It's like a little piece of artwork. Loved it. So I'm gonna do something fun with that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but something fun. And then this little thing they gave me. So, Brooke, you're so, I checked off a bucket list. You're so sweet. Yeah, and Nick came to the door. Jack and Sam were also here. Jack, our older son, I'm gonna start opening this. Jack, our older son, was, as many of you know, studying to become a chef, or training to become a chef. Look at this darling little Santa ornament. Anyhow, he was cooking up an amazing meal for us. Kathy, you're so sweet. An amazing meal. And so Nick and I talked with Brooke and Taylor at the door for a few minutes. And then Brooke and Taylor, I have to tell you. So when we went back inside, Sam, our younger son, was like, who's that? And I said, oh, that was Brooke and Taylor. And Sam's like, oh my gosh, well, if I had known, I would have come to the front door, which I thought was just so sweet. It was so sweet. Oh my God. Oh my, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, look at, so it is, oh my gosh. All right, look at, you guys, that's so sweet. It's gonna make me cry. So it is this little Alex and Ani, I think is how it's pronounced. But look at that. It's a little bracelet and look at the squirrel. And look what's on it. That is the Christmas vacation car. And I think, and I never really put two and two together. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. That there is a squirrel. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies. There's a squirrel that actually jumps out of the tree. And I think it meets its demise when the tree catches on fire. But oh my gosh, you guys, that is so sweet. And that's so special because of the squirrel. So I'm going to put that on later. You guys, thank you so much. That is so like personalized and I just love it. Oh my gosh. And that's a sticker too. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, guys. So thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Okay. So now let's jump into our listing. Today we have 3 lists. Well, we kind of have 3.5 lists. Our third list, I thought I would give you kind of an A and B option just because it may not, kind of what I thought I'd do for my third list may not work for you. So we'll get to that in a second. We are going to, well, I'm going to turn off some lights, open some blinds, turn on the studio lights, flip the camera. That's all that kind of stuff that we have to do before we get going. So if this is your first time, before I flip the camera, it's like being at Disneyland. You want to keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times and hang on tight. If you get a little dizzy, maybe like on the teacups at Disneyland, just close your eyes because we spin really quick, but it's kind of a Do I keep a journal, Deborah? That's a really good question. I'll just answer that really quick. Do I keep a journal? I really don't. Basically, my traveler's notebooks are my journals. And between my listing and my memory keeping, that is kind of how I journal or keep a diary. So everything that we do every Saturday, everything I use. It's not like a ploy to sell you guys things. It's just what I do. And I've learned that lots of people are interested in this type of documenting or journaling or memory keeping. And so I'd like to share. All right, so I'm going to flip the camera. So hang tight here. 1, 2, 3. All right. And studio lights, come on. It's nice this time of year. Normally, you guys know I die of heat. Well, because I'm, that time of life. And in the summertime, even though we have air conditioning, it was funny. I'm just walking around the room, opening blinds, so bear with me for a second. Oh gosh, I can't remember her name offhand. My friend from Arizona, whose daughter is a pilot that lives here. One point this summer, she was watching because I was saying, oh my gosh, I'm so hot. Because the studio lights put out a lot of heat. She said, don't they have air conditioning in Utah? I'm like, oh, no, they do. It's just the lights get really hot. All right, let's go ahead and get some things organized. All right, so listing from last week. Last week we did 1, 2, 3 lists. And okay, now I'm seeing these things. Something scary. Oh, Phoebe, okay. Phoebe said she was reading a news story about a family in New York who brought their Christmas tree home and there was a raccoon in the tree. Oh goodness, that would be scary, wouldn't it? Oh yes, Colleen, Scatter. We always forget Scatter. There he is. There's Scatter. Scatter has friends, but I'm not sure where they are. Well, actually, they're all right here. There are many Scatter's friends, so sometimes when we get really scattery, there's lots of them. And that may happen today, so we'll have all the Scatter squirrels out. If you are kind of new and you're not sure what the deal is with all the squirrels, we just have fun, you guys. We have fun during these sessions, and it's just like we're all together. And if we were all together, we'd be talking about something or doing something, and all of a sudden one of us would go, oh, hey, did I tell you about or remember when? And we would squirrel. So it happens a lot when we're working together because for me, it's like we're in person. So if we were going to squirrel in person, or if I was going to squirrel and completely go off on a different tangent in person, then I would here as well. So that's what our little squirrel is for. This was our first list from last week, and it was favorite holiday memories. And so I kind of finished a couple of those things up, and I thought I would just share because you guys have told me you like to sometimes see how things turn out. So I ended up moving this piece down a little bit, putting my title up there, adding a little bit of washi and a couple of die cuts, and then called that Little Guy Good. That was the Jingle All the Way collection with that cute Santa and then the paper that we used. This one, Christmas songs, and I think I just added one thing here. I think I just added that little die cut because it was just kind of it just looked really kind of plain right there. So, hi Donna, welcome. Lynn is baking. Lynn is baking for neighbors. I wish I was Lynn's neighbor, right? I wish I was Lynn's neighbor. Okay. The last one, and this was just a fun to-do list. And I like to throw these in every once in a while because this was just a to-do list of some things that I needed to get done for the holidays. And actually, there are some more things that I could flip off. Whoops. I don't know where that came from that I could check off. I'd flip off. That was weird. Okay. I'm not flipping anything off on my to-do list, although I think sometimes we probably wish we could. We have things on our to-do list that we wish we could flip off. Anyhow, some things on my to-do list that I can come back now and check off. Let's try that. Check off instead of flip off. Anyhow, the to-do lists I like to incorporate in my, I just feel like we've got a little bit of shadow, but maybe it's just me. I keep kind of moving those around a bit. Anyhow, I think it's fun to do to-do lists in your kind of creative listing traveler's notebooks or whatever that you're using to do your listing, because that's a fun way to just make your to-do list a little bit more fun, right? A lot of times your to-do lists, or you just have a bunch of stuff that you don't really want to do, but if you can add a couple stickers and a little bit of washi, then it makes it fun. Good morning, Katie Lynn. So those were my 3 lists. Our first list for today is about stocking stuffers. So you're Mariana. That is a song, isn't it? Paving the road to hell with all my good intentions. Isn't that a song? I think it is. Anyhow, I'm squirreling. You guys know, I get kind of caught up in the comments because I'm like, wait, what are you guys talking about? I want to be here. I want to participate. All right. Our first list is stocking stuffer ideas. Someone after last week's session, I can't remember if she sent me an email or I saw it in the chat later, said, oh, stocking stuffers, that would be a fun list. So I thought that would be the list that we would start out with. So I'm going to pull this guy out because it's too hard to work on it while it is in my traveler's notebook. Now this guy needs, I mentioned last week, I need to, when this insert is all filled, I need to take the staples out and stitch it together, do a little stitching right there because it is busting at the seams. Let's hope that doesn't fall on the ground where I just put that, because if it does, it's got a long way to fall. It has a long way to fall. Where are the Karens? I don't know. Karens, come out, Karens. And in that we mean the real Karens, not the Karens. All Karens are welcome, but Yvonne's gonna make cookies too. So fun. All right, so our first list, I need to remember to talk about this in a sec. So let's move that. Let's move these. Our first list, oh, of course, I have to use, what did I do with it? The new List It To stamp set. So this will be one of my lists where I do one of our little clips. So that's going to be a clip list. So something I want to try, and I just kind of thought about this, so we'll see. I'm not sure if this is going to work out or not, so let's just give it a shot and see what we get. Let's see if there's something that I can do. Some paper here that might work for that. Maybe that. Maybe that. I'm just pulling from the Simple Vintage North Pole paper pad. And I think what I want to do is to try stamping this, one of the stamps. This is too dark, but I might use that for something else. Try stamping that stamp on one of these guys and then cutting it out. So let's see what we get. Well, let's see what we end up with there. Too many things in the way. Too many things in the way. All right, so I think maybe this guy. I'm gonna try this little guy. It's a totally different one. There we go. These I recently brought into my store, you guys. So somebody had suggested these earlier this summer, and this is a stamp block set from Fiskars. It has 4 blocks, and they're nesting, and it comes a little package like that. So it's kind of easy to keep them all together. But what's fun about them, and she had asked if I had tried them, and I said I haven't tried them, but I will. And I liked them so much, I bought them, and then I liked them so much, I decided I was going to bring them into the store. What I enjoy about them, though, so they have a little grid pattern on the back. but they have handles. Okay, so little handles. So we know sometimes when we're working, and when I say we, I mean me, and then sometimes you guys, when we're stamping, sometimes we have a little bit of a challenge or a struggle. We don't quite get a good impression, but having little handles on here, I've found kind of makes it easier to stamp, and it's kind of fun. So I'm using that size. Here's that. So I always like to test first before I stamp. And that testing does two things for me. Number one, it helps to prime the stamp. I read something recently where somebody was talking about something else you could do to prime the stamp, and now I don't remember what it was. I can't remember if it was like cornstarch or something like that. I'm gonna have to go look that up because I thought, ooh, I need to try that. Anyhow, good to prime the stamp first, and then I just come in and test. Make sure it's got nice, good coverage, which it's hard to see there, but it does. All right, so, well, let's give it, I think that's going to be too much pattern, but let's just look. Let's just look and see. I have stamped on white before and then cut it out, but I've never done the stamp like this on pattern paper before. An eraser. Oh, Debbie's Therapy. I think that's what it was. And Mandy too. Yep, I think that's what I read. I think eraser, cornstarch. I don't know where I got cornstarch, but eraser for sure. Okay, so there's an example. All right, so that's kind of fun. That's a totally different kind of way to do that. Pencil eraser. Look at all you guys that are the stamp experts. I had never, when I read that, I hadn't heard that before. All right, so I'm actually going to also try it on another one just to see which one I like, because I'm going to then fussy cut that stamp out. All right, let's move this out of the way. And since I won't put this away right now, I am just going to get some of that excess ink off so that it is not going to get somewhere where I don't want it to get. All right, I don't know, that one's kind of fun. So let's see. Ouch. Stockings. Stockings, this is interesting. So Nick and I, my husband, and I have been married for 25 years. Oh gosh, now like 25 and a half. It was 25 in May. And last night I was telling him, I don't know how we got to talking. Oh, I know. There's lots of Amazon that's been arriving on my doorstep. And Nick picked up one of the packages, and I told him, because I pretty much do all the Christmas shopping in our house. And I'm like, listen, all these packages that are coming, don't open anything. Don't even like look at the label, because you never know. And so something came, some stocking stuffers, and in our house, so I think I explained this a little bit last time. In our house, generally what happens is that when a family starts having children, the parents meet with Santa Claus and have a discussion on a couple of different things. Like number one, when Santa brings presents on Christmas morning, are they wrapped or unwrapped? And the parents kind of help to decide, with Santa's help, if they want the parents wrapped or unwrapped. Another thing that happens is that Santa asks the parents, do you want to fill the stockings, or would you like me to fill the stockings? And in our house, when we had our meeting with Santa, when our kids were born, we decided that we wanted Santa presents to be unwrapped, and Nick and I wanted to do the stockings. So Santa said, okay, so in our house, I do the stockings. I do everyone's stocking except for Nick's. I mean, except for Nick's. Except for my own. Yeah, except for my own. So stockings are one of my very favorite things, and I always like to find fun little things, and we have some things that I always put in every year, but stockings are my favorite thing to do. So I was telling Nick, and I was saying stockings are like my favorite part of Christmas morning. Well, you know, besides being with family and all that. But I mean, I don't mean to downsize that in any way, but you know what I mean. And he's like, well, you know, I bought you a few things, just a little bit of candy and, you know, just whatever. I just got some things to throw in. And I'm like, honey, stockings are my very, very, very favorite thing. And he's like, they are? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, how did I not know that? And I'm like, well, I'm not sure because, hello, 25 years later. And then I think he kind of felt bad because literally he probably like swings through Target in the one spot and just grabs some junk and throws it in my stockings. So anyhow, I thought it would be fun because a lot of times you're always looking for stocking ideas. I don't know. I think that one may be kind of fun. We'll see. Sometimes you're always looking for stocking ideas. And I thought, well, that could be kind of fun because we'll share maybe stocking ideas. Now, Diane, and I'm seeing congratulations, Diane. So I had to go back and read. Diane and her husband married 47 years on Tuesday. Diane, that is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Congratulations. That is something to be extremely proud of. That also reminded me, I also wanted to shout out, and I won't share much because it's not my story. And maybe I'll ask her if she would be okay if I shared a little bit of what she shared with me next week. But there's an individual, Kelly, who has been joining us on Saturdays that just went through some pretty serious medical surgery. And she shared that with me last week, and she shared a very neat story. So I also wanted to shout out to her because I think that she is watching this morning. And I think from all of us, she could definitely use some very good healing vibes. So Kelly, we're all with you, my friend. Hoping that you heal very quickly. All right, so this is going to be that's going to be my little guy, the top of my clipboard. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one that's similar to, let's see where it is. Oh, this guy. So this was Fussy Cut, and then this will be List, and then I think this red is going to be this red's going to be the background. So we'll do this again. That will be the List, and then I'll make the little white background. Yes, positive healing vibes to Kelly. Whoopsie. All right, let's bring in, this is like really Christmassy. Okay, you guys know. If you've been with me for a while, you know how much I gravitate towards white. It's just kind of my thing. Lots of clean white lines and colors, and well, white's not really a color, but that is a lot of color going on, but I'm just going to go with it. All right, so 6x8 papers from Simple Vintage North Pole. I'm going to cut this down. It is already 8, and my inserts that I use are standard wide, so they are 8.25. So that will already give me kind of a natural white border around the top and the bottom. So I need to have that going here again on the right side. So if it's 5 inches wide and I have a 1/4 inch border, that would make it 4.75, the math that we do. All right, there we go. Okay. So, corner rounders. Let me grab that real quick. Corner rounder, because I would just like to round that corner and that corner. I might as well get on all this cute Christmas paper in while we can, because this is kind of, I'm just looking for something again. This is kind of the last week. Well, we'll have a little bit more. We'll do a little bit more Christmas next week. I think we'll still do Saturday next week, you guys. Does that work? Okay, hold on. Is Kelly here? Or Nancy knows Kelly. Maybe I missed Kelly. Anyhow, I got sidetracked again for a sec. We'll do a little bit more Christmas. Yes. Oh, okay, yes, next Saturday. Okay, friends, so that might be a little bit weird because it's going to be the 26th. It'll be the day after Christmas. But let's still do it, right? Why not? And here's the thing. If next Saturday, Colleen, that's right, Boxing Day in Canada. If next Saturday doesn't work for you, then guess what? That's okay, because you make it work for you whenever you can, because it will be recorded. All right, so I think this is going to be too much. A lot of times I like to use a little bit more of a pattern background like that, but I think that's going to be too much with everything we have going on. So let's go back to the little things behind us and just get some white cardstock. That's 8.5 by 11 that I always use, and I use that because 8.5 I can, usually what I do, I'll prep a bunch of these, but I cut a 1/4 inch off so that it's the height of my inserts, and then I'll cut each of those at 5, and that is the exact size of my inserts. So I can easily get what I need. I usually get 2 of those out of one piece of paper, but we know that's going to be too big. So now let's figure out how we want to do this. And instead of measuring, now is when we're just going to get out our little pencil, because pencil's easier. That looks about good, and that looks about good. I think, and you know what, we've never really talked about different ways that you could use the stamps. We always just kind of do this kind of similar, no, way too wide, way too wide. Let's try this. There we go, much better. You could, I mean, definitely if you're a scrapbooker, you could make little journaling blocks to kind of like we're doing here, to clip your little journaling blocks to whatever it is you're working on. I think you could even make some cute little gift tags. So some of you already have the List It One stamp set. If you make little gift tags or cards for the holidays, you could make really cute little gift tags with that. You could punch a little hole in the top and put some, I might do that later, punch a little hole in the top and put some baker's twine or a bow or something through it, or use that to, aha. All right, so you could, I'm thinking out loud here, so bear with me. All right, that guy's going to be, no, maybe we'll try it. This is going to add a little bit of bulk, but that's okay. We're getting towards the end of our little insert here. So I just punched a hole. Now what I can do, let me walk across the room for a sec. Sometimes this is what happens, right? We start working on something and then we get an idea to do something and then we think, ooh, I want to try that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try something. I have somewhere, ooh, this could be good. Let's see. This is in all of my stash of products that I have across the room for my December daily. So I thought this could kind of be fun. This may be really thick, chunky baker's twine. And this just got me started as I was thinking about how you could do cute little tags, gift tags. So let's see if we, I'm thinking, so I'm not talking right now. Thinking about the best way to tie this. This is going to make it really, really bulky. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I am not going to, I'm making this list by itself, right? It is not, I'm not making it yet in here. I will wait until the very, very, very end when I'm all done with, and I'm getting close, right? Until I'm all done with this insert for my lists. And then I will go in and adhere that on that page. But I want to wait to do that because it will make it super bulky as I am trying to work forward. All right. Oh, okay. Let's get, we don't need to be working on the big cutter. Let's work on our work surface. All righty. I don't, you guys, so I might have to make some gift tags, I think, for some of our presents because how cute, look at, how cute would that be? That's now really long gift tag, but If you have neighbor gifts that you're doing, so a couple of you mentioned that you were baking for neighbors. That would be cute if you're, to tie that to your little packages or something. All right, tape runner. A couple of you asked after you see me use this every week about the tape runner, and you said, hey, if you would bring that in, we would love it, because then we could buy from you and not from another big box online store. And I said, okay. So they just got here yesterday. I've linked those to the description in the video. So I have the tape runner, the little gun itself, and then also the refills. All right, somebody was saying something about using the brad. Using the brads to attach the brads. I don't know about the brads. Did I say something about brads? Colleen, I am right there with you. So what Colleen just suggested, because this is not Colleen's first rodeo with Lael, she suggested I write a note right here. So I remember what I want to put here, because you know what will happen? I'll just go right into working on the next list and accidentally do it here. Or later I'll be like, oh, that's weird, I left a page, and then I'll do it here. So if you were ever doing something like this, do yourself a favor and write on that page. And don't use a sticky note, because guess what? You can pull the sticky note off, which is what I did last time. I'm like, oh, what is this? And then I completely put the sticky note away. And so this is, I'm going to say add stocking stuffer list here. All right. So just to recap, the reason I'm not putting that now is because now there's some more bulk, and I want to wait until the end, until I'm done with the entire insert before I put that in. Yeah, no sticky notes. Sticky notes sometimes are the devil. In the best way, right? In the best way. A good devil, but a bad devil. Because they do. A lot of people use sticky notes almost exclusively, and then sometimes your pet walks away with it on its body accidentally, or then you have a bunch of sticky notes and you're trying to figure out which one is where. We had to, jokingly but also serious, my dad was a big sticky note user, and many of you know that my dad's wife passed away this summer, and we moved him to Utah. He wanted to move back to Utah. He has early onset short-term dementia. And so he was using sticky notes a lot, Post-it notes. He was using sticky notes a lot, but then he was using them so much that he was having a hard time finding what he wrote things on. So I didn't get him a traveler's notebook, but I did get him a really nice spiral notebook where he could write things down. So they're good for certain things, but not necessarily for a lot of things if you are relying on them too much. All right, so stocking stuffers. Now, what I thought would be kind of fun, where did they go? I had, this sticker sheet had a couple stocking stickers. This is Hey Santa. So I thought that might be fun to, well, let's see. No, I don't like it there. But I think it could be fun, maybe hanging right there. There's a pink one. The pink is cute, but the pink is not really the color scheme that we're going with here. So I think that will work. So now, I use this little guy, and I will use that to say stocking stuffers across the bottom. And I think that'll be enough decoration where I don't need any washi down there. So stocking stuffers. Now, what's kind of nice is when you do a list like this, next year when I'm racking my brain trying to remember, oh my gosh, what do I do for stocking stuffers? What do I usually like to do? What are some ideas? I can come back to this list. And especially for December, you guys, we've done a lot of different lists for December that you could come back to next year when you are racking your brain for your favorite movies, or your favorite Christmas songs, your favorite holiday memories, different things like that if you're trying to remember and you can't remember. All right, so stocking stuffers. The other thing that I wanted to try with the stamp. So let's just take this little guy. And I think I will pull out, now this I can save. Oh, here's an idea. So lots of times you want to be crafty, but you feel like you are not very creative. Maybe in the past, if you've ever gone to a crop, like a scrapbooking crop or an event, or if you are a big binge watcher of shows on Netflix or Hulu or Vudu or any of those, maybe you have a Hallmark Christmas movie marathon going and you're like, ooh, I've been sitting in front of the TV for days on end and I really feel like I should do something. Doing something like this could be something you do a little pre-work, right? So if you like this look of using any of the little the clipboard stamps with pattern paper, just get out a bunch of your pattern paper scraps from your stash and get out your ink pad and your block and just stamp. And then while you're watching, just kind of fussy cut a bunch of those so that later you have all of those ready to go. Maybe you need a little gift card or a tag or something like that. You could have a bunch of those just kind of all ready to go. So I'll keep that little guy. Nancy made a Christmas card list in her Christmas Traveler's Notebook. That's a great thing because then next year you're like, ooh, who do I send Christmas cards to? You pull out your Traveler's Notebook and there you go. All right, so I wanted to play with, where did they go? Oh, if you guys should see, I know what I'm going to do. When we're done with all of this today, I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to post it in the Facebook group. And so you guys can see what a disaster it is in here. Every December, it is a disaster in my craft room because I am doing December daily. And it's one big Christmas project that basically happens every day, although I'm a couple days behind now. Kathy and Kathy. So this is kind of crazy. I can't remember if I told you or not, but there was a huge traffic jam when I was headed down to the warehouse sale yesterday. And then afterwards, I was starving. And so I went to that drive-thru of the Wendy's that's right by where you guys are. Oh my God, literally, I was in line probably at least 30 minutes, which is crazy. But once you're in, you're in. I mean, I went through the drive-thru. So if you're in, you're not getting out. And so I don't know what in the world was going on at that place, but it was crazy. That was a squirrel moment. I'm not even sure how I got there. Nancy, I know, right? He is my mascot, right? Isn't he cute? I just bought him on Amazon. I think I did that by back in April. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a squirrel. I need a squirrel stamp because, not stamp, I need a squirrel because I was squirreling so much. All right, so I think what I was thinking, let me just show you what I was thinking as I'm thinking out loud now. I'll just kind of do that guy. So what I was thinking is I would do like the square, ignore the little star next to it for a while. And then I would write, you know, if this was like my to-do list, go to store, let's just pretend. And then once you've done that, you can do your little checkbox right there. So that's what I was going to do for the stocking stuffers. So this little guy is a little bit in the way. Well, he's just going to stay there. So I think actually on this one, I'm not going to use one of those little guys because I think it's going to take up a little bit too much room over here. So that was my thought, but that is why I'm not going to do it. And you guys know, if you've been with me for a while, I like to talk through why I do something or why I decide not to do something. Okay, so let's get to work on our lists. Okay, what did Kathy Blackburn just say? Thank you, Terry. I see in all caps lock. You were streaming at the warehouse. Oh my gosh. me. Oh, I love that. That is so fun. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad. Isn't that one of those weird things that, you know, I was there yesterday. If you hadn't walked by and I wasn't in the way and you hadn't said, excuse me, and I hadn't said, oh, no problem. But the fact that, and I was telling my husband Nick last night about that, and he's like, wait a minute, she recognized you because of your voice? And I said, yeah. So we kind of had a chuckle over that. Because you really didn't see me. I had a mask on and, you know, was looking down. And so you did. You recognized me from my voice, which I thought was hilarious. All right. And I love that you guys are streaming at the warehouse. That is so fun. Okay. So here we go. Stocking stuffers. So these are things that I have over the years just traditionally included in our stockings. And it's kind of fun because the very first one, I don't know if, I'll have to ask my mom if my mom ever did this, but I just started this when the boys were little. And this is always the very, very, very first thing that goes in the stocking, and it goes all the way to the bottom of the toe. And it is the chocolate orange. And I don't remember who makes it. I do know that I've learned my lesson many a year. If you wait too long to try to get the chocolate oranges, they're gone. And then if you wait too long, and you know, Mariana, I have a recognizable voice. I don't know if it's a good voice, it's just recognizable. So the chocolate orange. Oh, you start with the chocolate orange too. Aren't those fun, Tracy? So I am not like a huge dark chocolate fan. I like milk chocolate. And I've learned again the hard way that the milk chocolate oranges are like the first to go. And then you can find lots of dark chocolate oranges. So I think I bought our oranges, my gosh, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. And you know what? They were all already gone at our grocery store. So I had to get the dark chocolate oranges. Mwah, mwah. Oh, well, what do you do? Now, a couple days ago, Nick and I went to Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has now started making their own version of the chocolate oranges, Trader Joe's brand. So if you have a hard time finding chocolate oranges, and that's just something fun that's been a tradition in our family and always goes to the bottom of the toe. I think you can even now find like mint chocolate oranges, but it's not really orange. It's just mint chocolate, which is, oh, that's like the best. Okay, so chocolate oranges. The next thing, a toothbrush. And that's probably not so much anymore, but for years with the boys, we'd have the little, battery operated toothbrushes, and that they would always get them, probably 1 or 2 to put in their stocking. And those were just always in there. And I liked those because they were tall, so they helped to kind of fill. But not so much anymore. Not so much anymore, the toothbrushes. But that's something that we used to do, or I used to do. Socks. Socks, another fun one because you can, it takes up room in the stocking. Socks. Now, I have to make sure a real orange or tangerine along with an apple. Love that. Nancy says they go fast where she is too. Diane, yes, dark chocolate is an acquired taste. Your kids get upset if they don't get their new toothbrushes, dental floss every year. That's good. Christmas undies. Oh, that's a fun one. Christmas underwear. That is a really fun one. Now, what I've learned, and here's the thing, you guys, if you Google stocking stuffers, there's some really good ideas out there. So lots of times people have really good ideas. Anytime I do that, I get very disappointed because there's tons of ideas for females. Like, oh, here's the face cleanser, and here's nail polish, and here's a cute little lipstick, and here's this and that. A little bit harder. You have to think a little bit harder for the guys. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So socks. I don't think Sam will be watching because, hello, it's Saturday morning. And Jack is probably still sleeping, so he won't hear either. Last year, I, for the first time, bought the boys' socks that had pictures of our cat, Poe, on them. And they loved them. And so this year, I did it again. And I think they're going to love it. So those will go in their stockings. Next up, chapstick, some kind of chapstick. Now, chapstick to me, the name chapstick is like Kleenex or Xerox machine or Band-Aid. I don't like Chapstick the brand, and that just to me it's like super waxy. So it's not Chapstick the brand, but any kind of chapstick, because you know it's always good to have something like that. Small tools. Last year for Nick and the boys, I found these little wrist magnet things. So it was like a little Velcro thing you could put around your wrist that had a magnet on the inside of it. And it was great because if you were ever, you know, working with tools or doing something and you're trying to hold on to the screws or whatever, you could just put the little screws on your wrist as you're working. So thought that was kind of fun. I think I have a couple of other small tools that I have included this year. Next one, and I saw someone just say this. Nail clippers. Now, I got Nick a really nice set of nail clippers many years ago, and so he has those. He doesn't get nail clippers. The boys always get nail clippers because those things are like, it's like the Bermuda Triangle when it comes to nail clippers. I don't know what they do with them, but they never have them. So, nail clippers. Next one is also tweezers. Same thing. And then what they do is, and they come and take mine, and I'm like, those are my eyebrow tweezers. Please don't take those. I need those. So, tweezers. What else? Oh, not very fun things, but deodorant, toothpaste. Definitely, what are they called? They're like the little, the plastic candy canes that have the candy inside. I don't know what those are. This year, because you can never have too many of these, especially if you are a young adult, face masks. They're always like, oh, where's my face mask? And I'm like, oh, please tell me you have more than one, because I've given you more than one. Because you really need to have more than one. And you also need to wash it periodically, right? So face masks. Sandy, you just wrote something down, and I love it because it reminds me, I haven't done this for years, but I think I need to try to find these. Sandy said the Life Saver Christmas books, right? Where'd it go? Hang on. Yep, Lifesaver Christmas books. And then they did like the gummy Lifesaver versions too. Those were fun. Beef jerky and hot sauce. Those are good ideas. Small flashlights for their vehicles, candy canes, protein bar, a bag of wheat thins. Pez. Oh yes, Tracy. I used to do those too. Pez dispenser. And I would find like cute little, you know, the cute little Pez dispensers. Yummy soap, nail clippers and tweezers, yes. M&M filled canes, yes, exactly. Okay, Linda, gotcha. That's another good one. Hand sanitizer. So this is funny. You may be looking back at this list, I don't know, maybe 10 years from now, and you'll be like, wait a minute, what? Masks, hand sanitizer, what? But that's our world we live in now, right? So yes, they are very important stocking stuffer thingies. Alrighty, so I think we are pretty close to being done here. I think this is it, and we always talk about dating our list, so I think this definitely has to be dated. 12/19, right? Okay, so now let's just test it, and this is usually when you guys are like, no, it's the 18th, which I know it's not, but this is when you guys always help me to make sure that I am not doing the wrong thing. And then here's the thing, guess what? If I wrote 12/18, well, guess what? No one's gonna know, right? Who cares if I'm off a day? There we go, 12/19/20. which is kind of fun. 12, 19, 20. Now, too bad there's not an 18, 19, 20, right? Do you wrap your stocking stuffers? Oh, Kathy, interesting. No, never have wrapped stocking stuffers. You do it in the same Santa paper. Ah, very good. Oh yes, the date stamp. You guys know the date stamp. I just got a whole bunch more about a week ago because it's just a good one. Alrighty. So that's our first list, and I will come back in later. Later when I'm done with this Traveler's Notebook insert, and that will go right there. So yeah, I know, Donna, all the squirrels, they all came in the same package. And I just have to totally scroll for a minute because some of you guys will remember this. This was a really long time ago, this summer, probably more like spring, when we were doing a Saturday session. And one of the Saturday sessions was how to make your own charms for your Traveler's Notebook. So things that could hang off. This was when Sam was very involved in our Saturday sessions, right? He was hanging out and he was helping me flip the camera and all kinds of things like that. Well, I think I had just, like literally that week, my little squirrels had arrived. And he's like, oh my gosh, I have an idea. And he left for a while and he came back, and the little guy just fell off. So I'm going to attach him really quick. I need my jewelry pliers anyhow. But that's what he did. He took one of the squirrels, and he couldn't find an eye hook for it. So he made an eye hook, drilled a hole in his head, made an eye hook, and then found a jump ring. Sam's pretty clever. Found a jump ring and then made that little guy. So he was a charm that hung off of that little guy. So that's kind of fun. Anyhow, making charms. And Kathy, one of the Kathys that I met yesterday at the warehouse when she was showing me her Traveler's Notebooks, she pulled out the cutest clips that she had made using some button shanks. And that was one of the things that we went over during that video so long ago. Okay, so there is our first list. That needs to go off to the side. And we will move now on to our second list. Before I do that, let me get these things kind of put away, because there's just a lot here. There's a lot going on right now. Let's get some of these things that I know I don't need anymore out of the way. And hopefully I'll clean them up later. We'll see, maybe not. All right, probably won't need these anymore. May need stamps, we'll see. We may still do something with those, so let's get those out of the way. And this is exactly what I do. If you guys were here or not, I would be saying this out loud right now. Okay, I need to pick things up. What is that? Why do I still have that out? Where did that go? I talk to myself. So now I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to you guys. All right, next list. Oh, this, and then I'll get these out of the way. Every once in a while, I have somebody say that's new to Traveler's Notebooks, well, how do I get started and what do I need? And do you have like a kit that would help me get started? So I just put together 4 different starter kits. So, and these I've linked to in the description of the video. The starter kits, when I say there's 3 different ones, there's 3 different covers. So it includes the cover, your Traveler's Notebook cover, and then a pack of weekly inserts. So there's 2 inserts, 26 weeks each. So that would do your weeklies for the full year. A monthly insert and a lined insert that goes with it. The numbers sticker book, which is great for numbering your months and your weeks. And we've used that a couple times in our list. I always forget about that. I need to pull that out. And then one of the zipper pouches. And the zipper pouches are awesome because they just go right through one of the inserts in your one of the elastics in your Traveler's Notebooks, and you add little things. Let me see if, well, I don't know where it is. Oh wait, maybe I do. No, I lied. Anyhow, those are new starter kits. So they come, there's 3 that come with your choice of Traveler's Notebook. There's 3 different covers. But then I also did one that doesn't have the Traveler's Notebook because I know a lot of you already have a Traveler's Notebook. So this is like a New Year's starter kit. So your monthly, your weekly, the numbers, and the little zipper pouch. So I'll get those out of the way. But those are also linked in the description of the video. Okay, our next list is favorite holiday foods. Oh, vitamins. That's good. Vitamins. Let me see. Mariana, that's hilarious. Do any of you ever think, where is my stamp, fill in the blank, and then realize you don't have it, but you just saw someone else use it and swore you had it because you remember using it, but you didn't because you were living vicariously through someone else. So funny. All right. So with this one, this is favorite holiday foods. And I thought what might be kind of fun to do on this one is to use a little technique that I use in my my scrapbooks, my mini books a lot. And it is, I'm just going to bring it in. This is my December daily project that I am heavily in the middle of. Right here. So this is a great way to get lots of information in kind of a little bit of a smaller space. And I have done that here with 3x4 cards. And the 3x4 cards are waterfalled. So basically they are adhered one under the other. So they are scored at the top and adhered. You can have something here, and then you can lift up and have something. And then have something here, and then lift up and have something. And have something here, and lift up and have something, and then have something again on the bottom. So if you are adding photos to your traveler's notebooks, and maybe you have favorite foods that you want to have pictures of in your traveler's notebook, you could do that this way, where you could have a food and then a list and your lists and foods and things like that. So I thought that would be kind of fun for us to do. If you have 3x4 cards, you could use 3x4 cards for this. If you don't have 3x4 cards, you could just take a piece of paper and trim it down to 3x4. So some different ideas on how you might do that. And if you don't want to do this kind of technique, then just make your list. So I will do that over here. And I pulled out some cards. Scrapbook.com sent me some fun holiday cards to play with. And I've linked these in the description of the video down below. Phoebe, I'll answer your question in one sec. So they're a combination of 3x4 and 4x6 cards. And I have pulled out, oh, that one's going over there. I have pulled out a couple that I thought would work for this list. So I thought December favorites could be great because this is part of my, these are my December like holiday favorite foods. And then there are some other journaling cards that are also kind of meant for doing journaling. So those would be great for my lists. They also, because everything is double-sided, weeks. On one side, they have room for journaling, but on the back side, they have these cute little, just cute little designs. So I pulled out, I thought sweet treats could be fun, but then it's pulling in, you know what, it actually probably won't happen because it's pulling in another color that I don't think I'm going to do there. Anyhow, so you have really fun little designs on one side and your kind of lists on the other side. So that, I think I'm going to use mostly the list ones. There's another December favorites. That little guy. So here's I might have an idea. I'm just looking through these. Okay. So I think I'm going to try something with those. Put these little guys off to the side. Someone just, all right, Phoebe, I'm going to total squirrel for a minute. Phoebe said that ornament is so cute. Where do you get it? So I'm going to pull back out this ornament. This is a total squirrel thing. This ornament, this whole day in my December daily talks about this ornament. This ornament is very elusive. Nancy, exactly. So here's the thing. I saw this ornament. The original ornament is made by a company called Old World Crafts or something like that. If you go to my blog, you will see this day, and I've linked to the company that makes these. So I saw them on Instagram maybe like 2 months ago, and I thought, oh, I need to get that. I love that. And so I added it to my cart, and then I forgot to order it. Well, beginning in December, I went, oh yeah, the Santa ornament, sold out. There are a lot of fakes out there. So this is like a blown glass ornament. It is beautiful, and it's probably, because mine just barely got here, it's probably about, I don't know, maybe this tall. So it's a good size ornament. Old World Christmas. Thank you, Nancy. Oh, you know what's funny? I bet if I looked at it here, I bet it tells me. Well, we know. Old World Christmas. So I looked and looked and looked, and very quickly found what I discovered were a lot of fakes, because I read reviews and people were like, oh my gosh, that's not it. I ended up finding it on eBay, and I paid, I don't know, probably $28 for it, which is more than it would have cost, because I think they're usually about $14, because it's a beautiful hand-blown ornament. Anyhow, if you look for this Santa, and if you look for Santa mask ornament, buyer beware. They should cost about $14 if you can find them for what they, for what they were. If not, if you see something that says $6.99, that is definitely too good to be true. It will be a plastic or plaster, and it won't look anything like it. So that is the story about that little ornament. It did come in, Kem. So you know what? Actually, since we're right now, you guys, since we're total squirreling, I'm just gonna go grab it. And I'm not affiliated with them at all. I just love this, so I'm gonna go grab it real quick. Oopsie. All right. Here it is. So see how big that is? I mean, here's the palm of my hand. It is a really good size, but it's beautiful. When it came yesterday. It took a while to get here, but it didn't have a little thing. So Sam, bless his heart, was here for dinner. He went out to the garage and got some baling wire and made me a little hook for it for the tree. Right, Nancy. So I think if you kind of know if it's probably under $10 or $15, it's not the real thing. But it's not that it has to be real. It's just that the ones that I've seen where people like show the bad ones are not something that you would probably want to buy. So now let me put that off to the side so that doesn't fall over. And it's heavy. It's pretty heavy. All right. So anyhow, that was the story of the ornament, which kind of led us to the waterfall. So when we waterfall, there are a couple of different things that we can do. And I already know, I think this is going to be super... It's a lot of white. It's too much white. So I need another piece of paper. Let's see. That's cute. That's pretty basic. And then we'll do something with him. All right, so let me just grab this really quick. 4.75. That should do it. And I'll round the opposite corners now, since that's where I am. Not all the lists do this. You guys know. Not all the lists always have something like that, but especially when I'm using a lot of white like this, I feel like it needs something. So I think this list too, I think just since I'm getting a little bit bulky here, I will do this outside again. So this little guy was sure cute. I am going to do a little fussy cutting on him. I love to fussy cut. So a lot of times we use, I mean us, all of us, like to use die cuts, ephemera in our traveler's notebooks. And it doesn't mean that it has to come as ephemera. And that's, you know, like these things. You can cut it out of other things. So whereas I probably wouldn't use this little card, or maybe I would, but right now I really want to use this little Santa because he's cute. So if I have cards like this, they don't have to stay as cards, right? I can cut them out and then use them as little die cut ephemera. Other thing I could do is, especially something like this. This one would work great for that. Now it's butchered on the backside. Kim, I was surprised too. I didn't realize it was that big. I didn't realize it was going to be that big. I mean, it's good because it's a good size. For some reason, I thought it was much smaller. This, if you have cards like this, or really any 3x4 cards that you might have in your stash, these are great. Like that would be super cute as a tag on a Christmas gift again, right? Because you have that on the front and then on the back you have your little to from. I think it's good that we think about different ways that we can use the things that we have. Because sometimes, you know, maybe you did pocket page scrapbooking years ago. Maybe you did Project Life or something like that. And you think, oh no, I don't really do that anymore. I have all this stuff and now it's just going to go to waste because I don't do that. Well, pull it back out and look at how you might use it for something. Your listing or gift tags, cut things out. If you don't want to use the cards, that's okay, but cut things out. Or do something like we're doing where we're making use of the cards. We're making use of the cards, but in a different way, not in a pocket page scrapbook. We're doing it for listing. Cute. All right. Okie dokies. Now, whenever we cut that off, so if you're working with a 6x8, generally you're cutting a piece like that off, keep that because that is a great, I mean, if I wanted, I could then just use this. This could be a super simple list and I could just have a little border right there and make my list right there. Keep all the things and figure out how to organize them so you know what you have, right? All right, so December favorites. So when we do this waterfall technique, there's one thing that you need to keep in mind. Because we are taking a card like this and we're flipping it up, well, depending on what's on the back side, sometimes what's on the back side will be upside down. And that just kind of, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. There's no way to use this right side up without this being upside down. And sometimes I will put a photo there. So this list is favorite holiday foods. What I might do is then put a photo of some of the foods. I could put one there. This one lifts up. I could put another one there. Oh, that's a cute one though for fussy cutting. Anyhow, or I could put another card. So something like that. So that when we flip up, we aren't necessarily dealing with things that are upside down. All right, so we'll do those two, I know for sure. That one, no. Oh, the reason I'm deciding no on that one is because I lose some of what's right here. So I'm going to look for something else, but I might still use it. Depends on what we have. I thought that one was super cute, but then it's gray, and the gray with the white, not gonna work for me. So this would be cute because those are kind of cookies, right? And those would be favorite holiday foods. So I think that's going to be it. Just thinking how I might use him. Well, if I'm going to use him, he needs to be on the top card. So he'll end up getting used on the top card. So he's a little bit too tall. We're going to put him on a diet. So there we go. He gets on a diet. We see less of his. We see less of his little waist. So let's go ahead and put our adhesive on the back of this. Got a little glue pen here for some of these smaller. This side. All right. So I'm going to put him right about there. So he's also covering up. He's also covering up the little pulley that was there. So he could actually continue to stay hanging off the card because that would be kind of cute, right? That could be kind of cute. Then when he flips up, part of him is just hanging off. So I'll probably figure out something to put on the back side of him. All right, so now we're going to score. I have a couple of different, this was the one that was the closest, a couple of different scoring boards. Well, let's talk about a couple of different ways we could do this. I'm gonna bring this back in. Usually what I do when I am doing this in like a mini book, I know Debbie, right? Don't cut him just yet because I think he's gonna hang below. I'm just gonna hang, he's the lifter. So usually when I'm doing this in a mini book, I will score, put the adhesive on the back, and then adhere to the page. So it just lifts up. And I don't lose any of the artwork up there at the top. So that is one way that I could do it. Another way that I could do it, off to the eye doctor. Good for you. I need to be off to the eye doctor. All right. Oh, I got sidetracked. So another way that I could do it, and I will do it, I'll just show you with, well, it won't work on that one either. There's a reason why it won't work on this one, this other way. So let's do this one. Let's just pretend. The other way that I could do this would be to take some washi and partially on the card and partially off the top of the card. Nancy, yes, you could also make hinges. I'm trying to think. I did a hinge in I hinged in my Disney kit. But I don't think I have it here. So I'll show that option too. All right. So we can create a hinge using our washi. So if we were doing that here, I would have, there's my washi and it hinges up from there. Probably what I would do would be to do the same thing then on the back side. So just to make sure that, you know, washi's not necessarily meant to really adhere things, right? It's not like tape, let's just pretend, because it's temporary. So I could create a hinge like that with washi. Super cute, right? Which actually, I think I might do. My other option, what Nancy was saying, is you can create a hinge. So usually when I hinge, I would take a 1-inch piece of cardstock. We'll just do that here. Let me just turn this off real quick and get us a 1-inch. All right. So I do 1 inch tall, and in this case it's 3 inches wide because my cards are 3 inches wide. I would come in here and score this little guy in half, lengthwise. And this now becomes my hinge. So I would do that and do that. And then let's say that's this card. Where? Oh, down here. All right. So there's one hinge way. This hinge way would now be to take my little 1x3. I've adhered part to the back of the card, and then this is the other scored part, and I would adhere that right like that. So there's 2 different ways to hinge. Hinge with washi or hinge with a hinge. When you hinge with the hinge, you end up seeing whatever that is underneath. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're using scrap paper or something like that. Then the third way to do your hinge would be we'll do this guy. I score a 1/2 inch from the top. And generally I like to do 1/2 inch. It's just kind of an arbitrary measurement because I like to use a tape runner. And that tape runner, I think, is 3/8 maybe. So it's thinner than my hinge, than my score mark. And then I just put that right there, and I've just adhered the adhesive to the back of that card. And then there we have it. So those are 3 different ways that you can hinge. That guy, and that guy. Oh, so Cindy, that's a great, it's what Cindy just suggested. Lots of you guys are talking about that ornament. Cindy suggested if you go to Old World Christmas, their website, they will let you find retailers near you. That's what she did, and she was able to find the Santa at a local store. And Spencer Creek, I'm not sure what that is. So it sounds like there's some really good suggestions coming up on how to find that ornament. Just like seriously, you guys, buyer beware. If you see something that's under, I think it should be $15 or more. So if you see something that's less, just know that you won't get the one that you saw. And there's been lots of knockoffs, and it's very interesting. And I don't know I don't know Old World Christmas. I just saw the ornament and loved it. They had a very interesting blurb on their website about lots of fakes and knockoffs, because I think there have been a lot of fakes and knockoffs with that. And the way I just thought it was so classy, the way that they kind of addressed it. They just said, you know what? When you design something that's really popular and people love it, and a lot of times people want to they copy it because they love it so much. So they were very nice about how they addressed kind of all of the little fakes out there. So and fake, it doesn't really matter. It's just if you want the thing that looks like what you want it to look like, then you want the real one. All right, so I think I'm actually going to do that. I think I am going to do the hinge with the washi. So let's see. This is getting all, these two are from, sorry, I'm thinking. This is washi from Simple Vintage North Pole. That little guy. That guy. See, remember when I said how it's so hard to find a good green? Really in anything for Christmas? Well, any scrapbook stuff. Any crafting stuff. I don't know. Why can't we just have a really good green? That's why I kept pulling out that alphabet, because it was a good green. All right, so that will go right about there. lift it up. There's my hinge. So actually, I'm going to, no, I need to go ahead and do this now. We'll hinge right now, and then I will figure out later what I'm going to put on the back side. I'll probably just take another card and put it right there. Oh, I just have a little bit of washi sticking out there, so let's get that cleaned up. Come on. All right, so as I'm now doing this, because now I'll work on the other two, so we'll just keep talking, keep chatting while we're working. So last night, Sam, hello, who's in my family? Last night, Jack, our older son that is training to become a chef, made us dinner, and Sam came over. Just thinking for a sec. No, it's fine. Anyhow, so doing my hinges again. So, yeah, Sam came over. So Nick's boss had sent us some things from, I think, Kansas City Steak. Oh, my heavens. He sent some fillets and some twice baked potatoes. So, twice baked potatoes basically stayed the way they were, and they were awesome. Then you can tell I'm having a hard time thinking and working at the same time today. Then Jack made scallops with it. So we had like surf and turf. With the scallops, he made bacon marmalade. I'll say that again. Bacon marmalade. Oh my gosh. You have not lived until you've tasted bacon marmalade. And Jack just made it from scratch. On the scallops, it was off the hook. It was so good. So good. So, Brooke and Taylor, if you could smell that when you guys stopped by last night from the front porch, that's what that was. Well, I don't know what it was. So, then the filet was amazing, and he put, I don't know how he cooked it, but it was amazing. And then we had squash in the air fryer, and oh, it was the best dinner. It was so good. I have told many of you, well, if you've been on, you've heard it. I do not cook. I am not the cook in our family. Nick is, and that's been that way ever since I've known Nick. He's always enjoyed to cook. So he and Jack had a ball last night cooking together. So that was kind of fun. My dad cooked a lot too. My mom was a good cook, but my dad cooked a lot too. Even my dad's dad cooked a lot too. Isn't that interesting? Jack was telling us all about when he is normally, so he lives in Tacoma, Washington, that he and a friend of his have been doing, I don't know, maybe about a year, I want to say, something they call esoteric dinner parties. Now, his palate is a little bit more daring than mine, so they always do some really interesting things. I think, well, they didn't really have, the dinner parties now have changed because they can't be dinner parties anymore because of COVID. But with his roommates, they'll still do it. Right before he left to come down here, he did like a venison with, I think, a chocolate demi-glaze, he was telling us. Oh, heavens, yeah. His palate is very adventurous. He was talking about duck. He loves duck and he loves lamb and how he cooks all these different things. I'm like, yeah, no. No duck or lamb in my future. My palate is not that. Even lamb, I can't, I don't know why, I can't do it. I can't do it. My mind can't get past it. And the duck, well, no. Although I'm sure he would prepare them amazingly. This is just sticking out a little bit. It's bugging me. Don't mind me. Sarah, you did. You just got the last one near you. Good for you. Yeah, Sandy, he definitely did not get my talent. It definitely came from Nick, right? Okay, I had to look and see what we were talking about. We're still talking about that fun ornament, which is good. I love it. And that is, you know what? That was just such a, I don't know, pertinent thing to what we're going, what we're doing in the world these days. It'll definitely be a remembrance, right? One day, hopefully, coronavirus will be a distant memory. And I'm just doing some outlining here as I'm talking. That little ornament will help us to remember. It'll be like, oh my gosh, do you remember when? Remember, on the back sides, I'll figure the back sides out later. I won't do that while we're working. It's funny, my dad was, oh, I know, I was working on, he was over the other night, and I was working on, I was packaging our neighbor gifts, and I was making these tags, and I was drawing the outline, and he's like, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I just outline things, and he goes, and he's dead serious. He is, hi, Trisha. Wanda, I do, those Fussy Cutting scissors. They are linked in the description of the video. They're awesome. Oh, but I was outlining, and he was dead serious. He goes, so when did you realize that you were so talented? And I said, I'm like, oh, I was kind of, he was dead serious. And I'm like, oh, and we were kind of talking. And he said, like, how can you draw such a straight line? It was kind of funny. Yeah. Anyhow. Okay. So finally, these are favorite foods, right? So December favorites, we could call them, num-nums, we could call them food. I mean, food, right? I know. What I'm going to do a little bit here, instead of just starting my list here, I am going to just do a little tiny bit of journaling. Just a little tiny bit of journaling. Oh, gosh, I remembered what I wanted to do. I'm going to go back and change something. Maybe. I might use it here. We'll see. So I'm going to do a tiny bit of journaling. But I'm looking for, maybe this will work. I need a little something right here. Puffy sticker. Maybe. All right, I'm swapping out that little puffy sticker for this little one. And I'm going to see, but I think that dark green is too dark because of that green right there. Oh, but no, and actually, no, now I know I don't like it because he already has that right there. So I want something right there for when I start to do my journaling. Let's see if I have a little, if I made product, I would have stars on everything because I just love stars. And I think they're, no, see, that's not going to work either. I just love stars. So I know what we'll do. Let's go to, maybe a heart. That'll work. Just to start, just to kind of start right there. So here, the holidays always bring out some of my favorite foods. Then what else do I want to say? Here's a list of some of those favorites. All right. So then this is where we're starting our list. Here and here. what when I said, oh, I want to use that, and I thought maybe I would go back, I'll use them here. These are new stickers. They're called Teensy Type. Some of you have done these guys, and I used the gold version of this in one of my lists last week, the Christmas songs list. So also by Doodlebug, but these are called Teensy Type. And I thought these would be really fun for using not only for titles, but numbering lists, because numbers, and numbers. So I've linked these. They come in like a bazillion different colors. I've linked these in the description as well. So I think what I might do is use these little guys. And we'll just go with the black. And there's multiple of each number, which is always nice. Oh, we're talking about Karens again. Oh, hi, Karen. Someone was asking before, where are the Karens? We joked about the Karens. I mean, the good Karens, of course. If you don't know that kind of reference, there is a, I don't even know what you call it, if it's a meme or what it is, but there is a, there's been a trend kind of happening this year about Karens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. So this could be interesting. I need to come back and probably do this. Because I have 9, I'm going to space these a little bit differently. And I'll come back later and put something up there. All right, so I had to do a little Googling because I didn't remember what some of these things were called. Teensy Type, Kim. Oh. 60 hours, Karen, you've been working a ton. Frank the Gargoyle. Nope, haven't seen that, Terry. I'm gonna have to look for that. Okay, so the first one. Pizzelle. They are Italian waffle cookies. They are so yummy. They have the flavor of anise. I think that's how you pronounce it, anise. The black licorice flavor. And they are yummy. And one of our neighbors makes them. And so I love them. They are tasty, tasty, tasty. And if you don't know what that is, Google it and you'll go, oh, okay, that's what those are called. Pizzelle. Another one. And as soon as I've got my list over here. As soon as I knew I was going to add this to the list, I'm like, uh-oh, I'm going to be in trouble because I haven't shared this recipe yet. Whoopie cookies. We will be making whoopie cookies. Sam and Jack and I will be making have been making whoopie cookies. We will be making whoopie cookies next week. And I will share the recipe on my blog next week, I promise. Prime rib is another one, because that is one of the things we always have on Christmas dinner. Gingerbread, because yum, right? Gingerbread, yummy. Eggnog, I like eggnog. That's the only time of year. My mom actually brought over some eggnog that is, I think, silk eggnog, almond milk, soy milk, one of those. That's actually very good. I was shocked. It's very good, and it has a lot less calories and a lot less fat than your traditional eggnog. So if you like eggnog, you might want to look at that. All right, so there are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have 4 more. So 6. I'm going to do this one here. 6. 7. 8 and 9. So cute. Look at the 8. And that's the way it's supposed to be. It's like big on top and little on the bottom. The Trader Joe's almond milk is not good. Oh, okay. Good to know. This is it almond milk eggnog, Mariana? Or just almond milk? You abhor eggnog, Kim. That's funny. I know. You know what? It's definitely, for me, it's like a one-time-a-year thing, right? It's just, and I'm not a huge rum fan, so I generally don't like rum with eggnog. Eggnog with rum, whatever. Okay. So the next one is, oh, well, of course, a chocolate orange, because that's a holiday food, right? It's a holiday food. My sister's stuffing. So my sister is Lainey. Lainey's stuffing. Lainey also makes an amazing pumpkin gingerbread trifle. That is amazing. And Sam has kind of taken that upon himself to start making. He made it last year. The last one is, this is my friend Karen. Karen's, they are haricot verts, which are green beans. They're French green beans with goat cheese and warm bacon dressing. Oh my gosh. And then fresh pomegranates. They are to die for. And the fresh pomegranates just add that touch of bright red and then the green, and it totally looks like Christmas. Okay. So that is, I need to do a little bit more work on this guy still, obviously. I need to fix the backs and fix the back and then fix the back. I may do something else here. I may put a photo or a couple of photos, which I may end up putting some photos, actually. It's probably what I'll do. I'll probably do photo, 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 photo. So then I can kind of work in a little bit of my memory keeping along with my listing. If you didn't want to do photos and you have recipes for any of these things, so if I wanted, I could, I probably wouldn't write it because it would be too small. But I could end up typing on my computer and printing it out, a little recipe for any of these meals or any of these foods. And if I needed more room, I could actually come in and do another like waterfall, but I'd probably only do that with like one thing. So what I mean by that is I could come in and take like this little guy, although I'd have to cut it down. So just bear with me for a second. I could do this exact same thing and make it shorter. And then here I could have a photo if I wanted, or the first part of the recipe, like the ingredients of the recipe. And then I could open it here and this could be the instructions for the recipe. So I could actually, I mean, I'm kind of, well, I can't do that here because this would have to be cut down, but let's just do this. Let's just cut it down so we can see what it would be like. Because I think doing that another layer could be kind of fun. Right, so there we go, there we go, there we go. You could add a pocket, exactly. So Nancy also said you could add a pocket. So if this wanted to be, if it wanted to be a 2-page list, then over here, I could do this. And then over here, I could have a pocket for some of the recipes. Now it's funny that Nancy said add a pocket because pocket is what I'm going to create for my third list. All right, this little guy I can go ahead now and put in. I need to make sure that I get my adhesive as close to the edge here as possible on that edge, because it is it needs to, oh, hang on, there's too many things here. Let me put this away. it needs to kind of round this corner a little bit. And when I say round the corner, I mean that because I have so much bulk now on the left side of all the lists I've already done, I need to make sure that that sticks really well. So I just make sure I add a little bit of extra adhesive, or make sure it's along the edge there. All right, our last list. Our last list, I'm going to do a pocket. And for our topic for the last list, I'd actually given two options. I said we could do an A or a B. And you can do both or neither or whatever you'd like to do. What I'm going to do, my list is going to be called This December. And these were some of the cards that also happened to come in that pack that I was using. And these like screamed list to me because hello, look at, right? That's like a numbered list. So I thought this could be really fun to do a list with these two. Hi, Nick. Nick went backcountry skiing this morning, so that's our agreement. When he goes backcountry skiing, he is not at the resort, which means he's not in the boundaries of the resort, which means there is no avalanche control when you're skiing in the backcountry. Now, Nick has been, excuse me, oh my gosh, hang on, let me get a sip of water. I swallowed the wrong way, like I swallowed air the wrong way. How does that happen? Okay, better. Anyhow, Nick has done many avalanche training courses and has done a ton of studying, and also goes with at least a buddy, and also has all the proper equipment, including the avalanche beacon and the shovels and all of the things. So the agreement is that as soon as he's off the mountain, he normally would text or call, but he knows I'm in our Saturday session. So he jumped on to YouTube and told me, thank you, honey. I'm glad to know you're safe. I will see you soon. Okay, so third list. So for the third list, I thought I would do one called This December. And for this December, I am going to, December 1 through 24, just write down one thing that has happened during the month. So for the first, the second, the third, and that's how I am going to do this. Now, I have done a different kind of take on this. Was it the beginning of this year or maybe into last year? Whenever it was. For a long time, I was doing what I called a positivity tracker. So I would have, in one of my traveler's notebooks, I would have the month right here. I don't know if I would even have one of these handy somewhere, you guys, to show you. Because I have lots of traveler's notebooks. We know that, right? I'm going to keep talking while I look, and hopefully you can kind of still hear me as I'm doing this. With the positivity tracker, I would have the month here, and then the number of days in the month all the way down. And each day at the end of the day, I would come in and I would write down one thing positive that happened that day. Just one thing. So one thing positive could have been I went to Trader Joe's, and that could be positive because I like Trader Joe's. I don't know. It's somewhere in the 8,012 traveler's notebooks I have. But if you wanted to take this a little bit differently, you could do something like this. If you had a numbered list and you wanted to do, instead of saying just something that happened these days during the month of December, you could do positive things that happened. You could do movies that you watched. You could do foods that you ate, whatever it is. But that's what I'm planning on doing with my numbered list here. And I am going to put these in a pocket because it's too hard. I mean, I could do another, thing like this if I wanted, another waterfall, but I'm going to do a pocket because it's been a long time, I think, since we did a pocket. A really long time, I think. Sarah does a weekly positive tracker since the pandemic called All the Good Stuff. That's very good. And they say that you should, well, they don't say that they should, but it's kind of like being grateful, and maybe sit down at the end of the day and write one thing that you're grateful for, one thing positive, what have you. So kind of a little bit of a take on that. So for a pocket, I definitely need some green because there's too much red and white going on here. I have a whole bunch of red and white and then a whole bunch of red and black. So I need some green. So let's see. I'm using the heck out of this, this pad. I think this is gonna work because that green kind of goes well with that. They're from the same collection. Halloween pocket, yes. So Kim, we did a Halloween pocket. With the Halloween pocket was a tip-in pocket. Let me grab that really quick, just so we can take a look at a different way to do a pocket. All right. So this is what Kim is referring to. Hi, Marie. This was a tip-in pocket that we did. So it's not adhered to the page. I'm using washi, kind of like we did the Hinge for the Waterfall. We're using the washi to actually tip that pocket in. So it's halfway attached to the pocket itself and then halfway attached to your Traveler's Notebook insert. So that is one way to do a pocket. But this way, I'm going to make just a flat pocket so it will actually get adhered to our insert. So this will end up being in the background like that. So I don't need this to be a full page. My pocket will be like that. We'll have to decide how tall we want it. For this, I'm going to get out some special adhesive. So bear with me for a sec as I am reaching for something that I hope is in here. Hang on. Where is that? Well, dang it. I need some really thin, I'm looking for my red line tape. I'm still here, so hang tight. Somebody tell a joke. Where in the world? See, this is when I know it's not my boys or Nick that have come in here looking for, taking something, like my tweezers. I did something with it. You can hear me going through everything. All right, well, that I'm probably going to have to add later. So let's just talk about it. Let's talk about what I was going to do here. Sorry about that. So this is double-sided tape. This is a half, that is half? That's a ½ inch. I have 1/4 and I also have an 1/8 inch. Why did the cow cross the road? Kelly, to get to the other side. Why? Look at everyone's telling jokes now. What do you call a hippie's wife? A Mississippi. Oh, that's good. Mariana, those were not empty candy bar wrappers in the pocket. I'll go back to that for a sec. Let me tell you what those are. Empty candy wrappers would be really messy and they would not be flat. So I went to Google and I found my favorite candies and these were images of them. So I just right-clicked on them, saved the images, and then print them and cut them out. So they are like candy wrappers, but they're not dirty. We were joking when I did this that, oh gosh, I'm going to have to eat all the candy wrappers. And oh, that one had too much chocolate on it. Guess I'll have to eat another one. No, so that's what I just did. I just printed those out and tucked them into the pocket. Okay, so what I need to do, instead of using my regular tape runner, when I do a pocket like this, I want it to be a little bit sturdier. I'm trying to think how I could do this without what I need. normally I would take something like this, a double-sided adhesive, and I would go right like this along the side of my pocket. That would make it pretty sturdy. But the reason I can't use my 1/2 inch is because these are 4 inches wide. And if I were to use my 1/2 inch right here, it's going to be really hard for things to get in and out of that pocket. Kristen, I can gusset it, actually. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't think it's been a while since I've shown a gusset. So let's do a gusseted pocket. And this is the kind of thing that works great in your traveler's notebook, but this can work really for anything, anytime that you're making a pocket. If you're making it on a scrapbook page, or if you're making it on a mini book or in a traveler's notebook. So what I first need to do is decide how wide I want this piece to be. And how tall I want it to be. Because if those go in there like that, they'll probably stick out like that. But here's the thing. I don't like things to be in half. Angled two-sided pocket. Look at you, Nancy. I wonder where you got that term. A double layered angled pocket. That's something that I did in one of my past kits. And that's what I called it. I think a double layered angled pocket, something. All right, so what I was saying is I don't like things to be in half. It just, the rule of thirds usually says you either want something 1/3 or 2/3. Half sometimes just looks weird. So I think I'll end up having this probably be about 1/3. Well, it won't quite be 1/3, but it'll be more than 1/3. No, actually, anyhow, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna cut that right there, and then I just want a little bit of white border. You know me and my white. All right. Don't mind that I'm just doing this on top because, oh, cut it at a slant. All right. So, let's look at 2 different ways that we could do this. All right. Let me come back to this and let's look at one of the slanted pockets. Is it in here? No, it's actually in this one. So we did a slanted pocket, which is one of my lists I'm still working on, right? That didn't get finished. So we did a slanted pocket right here. So photos, there's my slanted pocket. And I put adhesive there, there, and there, and then put some of the scallop washi right there, which was really fun. And then that tucked right in the pocket. So that is what they're talking about when we say a slanted pocket. So I could do a slanted pocket. Another thing that I could do is grab something again. Grabbing a circle punch. And I can make a little notch. Okay, that's okay to do it there. I can make a little notch right here out of the top. And then my, oh heavens, where did they go? Oh, here they are. So then those things could be in the pocket like that in a notch. So 2 different ways that I could do that. Slanted gusset. Woo, okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a notch like this and not do a slant on this one. So cut here and right here. There's the start of my pocket. And that will go right down there along the bottom. And just because it's what I like to do, I am going to round the bottom corner. I think that, no, I think it'll look too weird if I round the bottom corner, so we're not going to do that. I will come in here and do that. Like so. And these little guys, I know that's upside down, will be in there. So, for my gusset. My gusset, actually, we make our gusset almost the exact same way that we make, that we did one of the hinges. So, boy, I need like 8 more feet. What did I do with the white? Stuff is falling all over the floor. Where's the numbered list from? Oh, this one. Laquita, these are from a card pack that scrapbook.com has. So I've linked to these in the description of the video. So the 3x4 cards that I used here are part of that pack, and those are also part of that pack. Gosh, heavens. I know I had this out somewhere, but we'll just get some out again. It's okay. It's okay. There we go. All right, so there is a piece of scratch white cardstock, and I need it to be this height. So let's see what height that is. That is about 3 3/4. 3 3/4, and then I want this to be 1. I'll explain all this in a sec. Okay, so all of that to get those 2 little pieces. Oh, hang on. Now I need to score them too. Okay. I'll explain all these guys in one sec. Ah. Okay. So now we have both of those. Here's my pocket. Oh, that's not the pocket. That was the extra. Here's my pocket. Yes, Kathy, I could sew the pocket. However, I'm very much a spaz when it comes to the sewing machine. I literally look at the thread and it goes, and it gets all messed up. So as much as I love the look of it, I can't do it. All right, so what I've done here, here's my pocket. To make a gusseted pocket, I have taken 1 inch wide because I like to do 1 inch because it's really easy for me to get my adhesive on there. That is the same height. What did I do? I measured wrong. It's okay. Normally, don't even know how I did that. Oh, that's how I did that. I measured along the wrong piece. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. So, it normally would be the same height. I'm going to come in and put my adhesive along both sides of that. This will make sense in a minute why we're doing this. And I am putting it just like we did when we created our hinge, all right? It's half on the piece, and then I have this other part. I'm using the correct terminology. So when I say piece and other part, commit those to memory because that's really what you call these things. Haha, just kidding. All right, so then this goes right there. So what I have here, when you look at that, see how when I am going to go ahead and adhere this, this has now basically given me that extra space that I was going to lose right here, right? So now when I go to put these in, I have plenty of room because I have the extra space. Whereas I'd be really tight. I would be too tight. Otherwise, my things would have a really hard time getting in and out. But the other thing that a gusseted pocket gives me is it gives me now additional room, right? Because it's not flat. That piece isn't flat on the page. It is gusseted, which means I can put more in that pocket if I need to. So a couple of different reasons on why you might use a gusseted pocket. I've seen people do it both ways. Sometimes people will do a gusset at the bottom as well. I think for the sake of time, I'm not going to do a gusset at the bottom. So let's see here. I'm just going to use some of that little double-sided tape. Let's come back in. And I like to score them in half. You could just as easily fold them in half because it's clean. You're not really going to see what's there, but this then will get adhered to my page. And now I have lots of room. And these guys can slide in there really easily. And I could add more things in there too if I wanted. Okay, so now what's missing? The outline, of course. So if you have these cards, or if you get these cards from scrapbook.com, then you could do this. But if not, you could do this same idea. You could either use number stickers, or you could do something like this on your computer, where you add your numbers and then you have your little days. And I just lost an E over here, so let me get that E back, because I'm sure later I'll be needing that E for something, right? All right. So these are going to go in, and now I know I need, I had pulled that out. Just thinking a little bit, because whether I want to, whether I need to talk about what's in here at some point, right? So if I wanted, I could put something on the back of these and explain kind of what's on. Or I could, this is why I probably also want to use double-sided tape over there. I thought I could do something like this. I would just need to trim it down a little bit, but then I'm going to trim it down anyway, and we'll see if we want to use it. Because it's too tall. Still too tall. And there's one thing about this card that's bugging the heck out of me. You probably know what it is. That. But that's a great spot for some washi. Let's see. Now it's a little bit too... No. Well, we may use it. We may not. We'll see. No, too much red. I need a thin. That's another hard thing. Sometimes it's hard to find a thin. A thin washi. I'm going to walk across the room for a sec. Hang on. So I know I have something thin over here. Yeah, if I put it away. Which I didn't. Which means all of this is way back here that you can't see on my desk. It's buried in there somewhere. I have some black washi that has some words on it that I thought could be kind of fun. So, yeah, that's too plain. All right. I do not know. I'm not sure. So we're not going to do that for now. I'm going to go back to these lists because there's one thing that I want to just make very quickly. Let me see. You guys can tell I'm totally thinking out loud now. All of this stuff I haven't really thought about. So, where is that? Okay, well, another thing. Darn it. All right, well, I'm going to, I don't know why it's not here. And honestly, if I had daughters, I would think that they came in here and were doing something, borrowing all my things. But I know Jack and Sam have not been in here. So I have a tab punch. A tab punch. I will probably wait and use that next time. What I'll probably do is next time I will finish up the decorative part of this list. I want to create little tabs that will go on the top of both of these little lists so I can just pull them out. I just don't know from your... I know. And oh, hi, Andrea. Look at all the suggestions. I love it. Just try one of your signature black lines. Yeah, I know, right? Ribbon strip on top of calendar with title. We know it's a calendar. I know. There's all these ideas. It's really bugging me that I can't find that tab punch now. So, and it's big. It's like it's not like it's sitting under something. It's hefty. It's like a hefty sip sack. Hang on. I'm still looking. Oh, guess what? I found it. It slipped to the back of the drawer. I knew. I'm like, there's no way. I haven't used that in a little while. So, all right. So this makes tabs in my December daily. No, I know it wasn't. It wasn't in there. So this punches tabs. So let's go to this little guy that we've just been playing with because I want to show you a couple things. What in the, oh, this came out of it. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? It was stuck in there somewhere. That was the weirdest thing ever. Okay, so this is what I just punched. I just punched the tab like that. Hi, honey. You want to stop?
More cowbell.
Will you take that? More cowbell. Will you take that off the door? Thank you. That's a like old Swedish Christmas bell that I have hanging on this door that, yeah, makes a lot of noise. Do you guys know the reference to More Cowbell? From Saturday Night Live and Christopher Walken, the skit. It's very funny. Anyhow, that's what Nick just said, More Cowbell. Okay, so it makes a little tab shape like that. I'm going to use 2 of these to put up the top. I'll do them back to back and put them up at the top of my list so then they can kind of come out. But there's a little trick I want to show you with this. You can fold it and punch it and have a 2-sided tab. Yes, exactly. Josephine Designs. That's what I'm going to show everybody. So when you punch this, it just punches out one. And normally you usually want 2 back to back. So you could either do this and punch another one again. I always turn it over because it's easier to see. Like that. So I could do that and then adhere them back to back and then on there. Or what Josephine was saying is, let me just cut this. If you fold, so I have folded, and if I come in and, actually, hang on. It's been a while since I've done this. If I come in when I punch, I want to make sure that I don't punch all the way through the top part. The top part's fold still stays intact. So, there we go. So now I have my 2-sided punch. If you have that punch and don't know that, well then that's a huge time saver. If you don't have that punch, I also brought these tab punches in. So they are also on my website. They're fun to do little things like this. So that could be my little tab punch right there, or my little tab. You can also have side tabs instead of top tabs if you want. But I don't think that that's actually, after all that, I don't want to use that, that pattern. I need something that has a little bit more of a something going on with it. And I don't know what that's going to be. No, because partly what's going to depend on what I do there is just looking I think what I'll end up doing is, like, one of my label stickers. Let's see. Let's look at for good and see if that works. So something like that. I just don't know what it's going to be. So probably what's going to happen on this one, my friends, is this whole list is going to need some work because I have to decide if I want to use one of these, and if I do, which one. And then, depending on what I do, if I want to keep it on, I just trimmed that off because it was a little bit too long. If I want to keep it on this guy to go right there, which I don't love. So this one is going to take some work on my part. More work. So this will be one that I will finish up on my own and come back to and share next week. But what my plan is for here, because I already started making my list. This is just kind of a, on the first, shop at Knot and Spool. On the second, holiday masks. On the third, watch Elf. On the fourth, Sam's birthday, and so forth. So that basically would end up being how my lists are going to work for that list, for that topic. And that one is, I think what I'm going to title that, I just have to figure this out a little bit more, this December. And it's just kind of a quick rundown of everything that happened between the 1st and the 24th. For an alternate, I think for the alternate list that I had thrown out there was like movies watched, like if you want to make a list of movies that you've watched, or if you're watching Hallmark Christmas movies or something like that. So Kim, there's some questions. I am freaking out watching you cut apart Project Life cards for punches though. So Karen, that was actually what I did for my punches. Those were actually, these were 6x8 papers from the North Pole 6x8 pad. But actually, which is a good point, I think Karen thought I was using some of these cards. Oh, these are 4x6s, but some of these cards. So when we talk about Project Life, and if that name means something to you, then you know what it is. If not, it was just a style of scrapbooking that it's been around for a long time. There were some products that went along with that, and people had a lot of duplicate cards. So I'm using pattern paper here to do that, but you could also go back to that, your card stash, if you still have a lot of those cards, and do exactly what I did. Just do make your little punches out of that. Tracy, yes. Okay, so a couple things. Let me back up to Kim. Can you use the overlay clear plastic over those punch tabs? So, the punches come with some plastic tabs that go over the top. Simple story, well, Carpe Diem also makes some clear tabs. They're not exactly the same shape. I think they're a little bit smaller. But We Are Memory Keepers, who makes this, also sells separately the plastic that goes over it. Let's see. Let me show you. What someone was talking about. And actually, we'll just give it a little test. So, this tab sticker book that I have on my website, and you've seen me use, probably not so much the tabs. I had used a couple of these in a past Traveler's Notebook kit. Let's just look here. All right, so this is the size of the tab from the tab sticker book compared to the size of the tab punch. So it is much smaller. Carpe Diem has a clear tab sticker that is this size. So it goes over this sticker. I don't think I have any of those up here though. I think I have those downstairs. But what it does, basically, it gives you a tab. So you have your tab sticker, and it is a thicker sticker stock. And then you put the clear tab sticker over it, and it makes it a really sturdy sticker, a really sturdy tab, which is nice because you guys were talking about bendy tabs. If you are creating sections in your, you know what, I'm just gonna go grab one because I think it's just easier if I go grab one. So I'll be right back. It'll take me 1 second to run downstairs, but it'll make it a lot, I think will be more, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I hadn't thought about using tabs with this list. Otherwise, I would have had these things up here. So these are the clear tab stickers. And they are a pretty thick plastic. So if we were making this, let's say we just put this right here. There's my tab sticker, which already is really, because it's a double-sided and it's a really thick sticker stock, it's made it pretty sturdy. But once I put this guy over it, my clear plastic, then it's like really sturdy. Okay, so super sturdy. That is not the same size as this. These stickers and clear stickers are smaller. See how they're smaller? We Are Memory Keepers, which is the company that makes this. So this I have on my website, and it includes a couple, I don't know, 4 or 6 of the stickers that actually go over it. These separate, so tab sticker tablet with the clear tab stickers. What's kind of fun about that is a lot of the tab stickers already have labels on them for you. So they have months. You also have labels that come with them. So you can do your own labels on the plain ones. And more labels. Just last thing, if you missed it on Black Friday, because I still have it up on my website, I think, I'll have to look. I did a tab sticker tablet bundle. So it had the tab sticker tablet. Yes, and the bullets, Kim. Hang on, because they've fallen out. Oh heavens, I am all over the place today, you guys. All right, These are also part of the tab sticker tablet, the hole reinforcers. And I love the hole reinforcers because I use the little donut holes, so the ones that are inside for my bullets on my lists. So those are also part of that tab sticker tablet. So, and I'll have to check to see, because if I took it off, I will add it back if I hit it. But for Black Friday, I had put these bundles together, and they were the tab sticker tablet and the clear tab stickers. And then there's also clear label stickers. So I'm going to, once we're done, I'll double check if they are still there. If not, I will unhide them, and then I'll include a link to them in the description of the video. All right, okay. I am going to turn off the lights, and I am going to flip the camera. We'll see how I look after all this, okay? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, hold on. Whoop. Flip. Caesar's Z. Well, I totally know you from the Netherlands. Actually, we could have met at one point because I taught in Amsterdam a couple times. Wouldn't that be funny? But then you probably would remember. I'm just reading one of the comments. All right, friends. So that was, well, we were because you were with me, because I was all over the board. We were all over the board today. But that's part of what we get when we do these. Sometimes it's a lot of thinking out loud. Sometimes I have things totally planned ahead of time. I mean, usually I have something planned ahead of time, but other times we get different ideas, right? We think, oh, I want to try that, or I want to try that. Or sometimes you guys suggest things. Like when you suggested the gusseted pockets, or when you suggested the hinged version of the Waterfall, instead of scoring or instead of using washies. So all those things, I think it's really fun to go through because it shows you some different things that you can do with some of the products that you already have, or how to make things work in a smaller format. Like in this example, when we're working with a traveler's notebook, sometimes we want to write more. Sometimes we need to have more room for our lists, or sometimes we want to do include things that we might not think would work otherwise in a smaller size like this, like our little waterfalls. So totally different techniques on how you can do your lists. We have a giveaway. Okay, so we did give away last week for one of the stamp bundles, but the giveaway for today, especially those of you that joined us a little bit later. Hang on, I just need to grab it. The one that I didn't work with. Brand new stamp set, brand new listed stamp set. This is so new that it doesn't have the backing to it yet. These are now available for pre-order on my website, and I used this little clip stamp in one of the lists today. I think next week I'm going to use this one because I think that is so fun, that little kind of spiral notebook thing. So this is, we'll give one of these away, and if you would like a chance to win that, just go ahead once the video is over, so not in the chat part, but in the comments of the video once it's over. Tell me one of your favorite holiday foods. Whatever it is. And if it's something I might not know, like if you're from a foreign country, or maybe you're from the US, but you have, a favorite food that is something that I might not know of, like a pizzelle or something like that, tell us what it is. So I know what it is, and then any other people that read the comments also know what it is. Next Saturday when we meet again, and we will do that. So on the 26th of December, we'll do our regular standing 9 a.m. Pacific time date here to list. I will draw a random lucky winner that morning from someone that has left a comment to win those little stamps. So those stamps I've linked, they're for pre-order right now. I expect to have them, I think, on the 28th. So I'll say sometime next week they'll be shipping. We never quite know what's going on, but let's say that. No, not next week. Sorry, that's 2 weeks away, right? 2 weeks away, the 28th? I don't know. However many days away. Today's the 19th. The 28th would be 9 days away, right? 9 days. Ooh, anyhow. All right, my friends. So we will not see each other again before Christmas. So if you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. If this is a really hard time of year for you, and I know Christmas, I know the holidays are a hard time for a lot of people. If it is, just you're almost there. As soon as we can get past Christmas, and then we look forward to the new year, look forward to hopefully better news on the coronavirus front and all of that. So just know that this is a hard time of year. We are with you, and we are we're your friend. So we want to be here for you, and we'll get together next Saturday after the holidays. One last thing, I've had a couple questions. The winter traveler's notebook kits, if you ordered, those have been shipped. It may take a little while. I will be scheduling the Plan With Me live session for that, for those of you that purchased the kit, for the 28th, Monday night the 28th. And I wanted to schedule that a little bit later than normal, just because, number one, I want to stay away from the holidays because there's just holidays. But also with the mail carriers right now, I know some things are taking a while to get there, and I wanted to give everybody a chance to get their kit and have a chance to get through the holidays and be able to do that live with us. So if you purchase that kit, I will be sending an email out on Monday with a link, and we will do that on the 28th. Otherwise, my friends, thank you. Thank you for another fun Saturday. Look at how many lists we're doing. It's so fun. By the end of this year, well, I guess probably for next week, I'm going to sit down and count how many lists that we have done together, because I think that's kind of fun to know. I think we're closely approaching. I think next week might be 40 weeks. We might be full term and we might be ready to have the baby. No, I'm not having a baby, but I think we're 40 weeks in a row that we've done our Saturday sessions. So that's kind of fun. All right, you guys, everybody enjoy the holidays. Please, please, please stay safe and wear your mask. Please wear your mask. That's the mom and me coming out, telling you have to wear a mask and wash your hands and hand sanitize and all that. All right, my friends, I will see you guys next Saturday. Thanks for joining me again today. Bye-bye.